Right, here we go. 5,
Oh, we're doing it now.
4, 3, 2. It's the nerve damage arm.
It's
1.
the GH. The GH.
Right, let's go, John. Let's go now.
Hello and welcome back to 100% or Nothing podcast. It is me and Anth, because we haven't been around, have we? We have not clashed diaries well recently, so we thought we would not leave it another week. I don't know what happened. I haven't got anything interesting to report, unfortunately. I'd love to have a great story, but
I mean, it wasn't that long ago. I think we had James on, and then it was a week break, and then because we did promise we were
we did
going
a
to do.
midweek. I reckon it's over. I reckon it's almost
Oh
two.
yeah, sorry, maybe about 10 days then. Yeah,
I
no,
reckon it's 10 years.
10 years.
Yeah, I reckon it's
Yeah,
10
sorry,
years.
I've just been busy with life, unfortunately. I'm not an official influencer, so real
Oh,
life gets in the way
unlike
sometimes.
me.
Yeah, you're
Unlike,
a full-time coach. I got
yeah,
a real job, real jobs.
real jobs.
Yeah, businesses and children to look
Got
after.
business, man. Uh, so we're gonna hop on, gonna do some questions, cover some stuff. And the first thing that I thought we'd cover, which we'll try and kind of do some of the shows and the pro shows. Obviously, we'd like to get James back to talk about the pro show that went better. 'Cause we saw him in between, didn't we?
Yeah, I've been speaking to James on WhatsApp actually. I was going to ask him if he wanted to jump on, but he's in Texas, so I didn't want to bust his balls while he's away. Obviously, the time difference as well.
Have you seen
So
the videos? Not the videos, the photos that he's done in like black and white and Metroflex.
I've caught a couple of them. Yeah,
Yeah, the black and white ones. Those are like the photos that I'm like, yeah, I want to go to the gym now.
you definitely need to go to Metroflex down.
Oh, mate, I'd probably yeah, I'll get there when I can get as injured as you did, because I inevitably would.
Yeah, if you go there, you're going to hurt yourself.
Yeah.
I'll be honest. When I trained there, we did back, and I was like, right, just James is strong as fuck. He ain't at James's level strength anyway. But I was like, just chill out a bit because you've got to last the whole week, and you're going to fucking hurt yourself. So when I got through the back session, I was like, that wasn't too bad. I didn't hurt anything because we did some deads, and I was like, put like 5 under the few, and like James did say, like, oh, sure, I just don't.
Yeah.
Even though I can do it, I just can't
Oh,
recover
mate.
from it. But then obviously you tore a tricep the next day, and I started crying, so never mind. But yeah, you'd have to have a cap on the enthusiasm level down because you're gonna
Yeah.
fuck yourself up in there.
Yeah, but I don't see how that's possible. Once you walk, even just the photos of it in the black and white, I'm like, oh, with all the writing on the wall and fucking, you just,
Well, just times that by 25 and you're there.
yeah, exactly. I don't think I could go easy. I'd be like, fuck everything.
Just
I
go there
probably-
when you're ready to retire,
yeah,
just in
exactly.
case.
Yeah, exactly. Um, One thing, but it was the first Two Bros show. I'm pretty sure it was the first one. It's the first one that of the year, the first qualifier. I think the pro qualifiers in like 2 weeks. Like the first one, it was the condition coaches show. Amanda and Martin, big up the crew then. Um, and it was good. So I did want to highlight. Obviously, I've missed some people off. I didn't spend ages doing this. I just picked some people to look at, and we'll try and do that now. The technology is available. Can we see this?
Yeah, I got it. I do apologise in advance, guys, because I haven't been online much this weekend. I had Leah this weekend, so we've been playing like football and badminton and
So this is
big feeding the
this
ducks and
is the
stuff.
guy who won the overall, Ben Diesel. He looks pretty Russian blood to me.
Yeah.
But I don't know the guy that well, but I did send him a message. It's not a great picture, but obviously is brimming. Great condition. Probably in with a good chance at the pro card, especially this early on in the year. Um,
It
and
reminds me of that other guy with the crazy delts. Yeah, I'm sure you know who I mean, Dan. He did a contest last year.
not
Looks
not
very similar. It looks very similar as well, like in the rest of his physique. Jesus, what's he
he
called?
he looks a bit like a taller Dean White.
Yeah, he did the same contest Matt Toffin did last year, I think.
Oh mate, now
I could be wrong. I've got
you're
it written in my
relying on
diary.
the guy with the crazy doubts is Connor that we had on,
No,
isn't it?
Connor has crazy delts. It's another guy. He has massive delts, and everybody's accusing him that he's got stuck in the delts and stuff. And
Well,
I,
I
I did
mean,
I did initially think this guy did, but it looks like just his hands ran a little bit in the shoulders. I think.
that was the one thing is that his tan did run quite badly, but it's
Yeah.
his second show. So fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know how old he is, but he's got hair, so it can't be that old.
Isn't it yummy here got hair now?
Yeah, that's the sign. That's the only thing. Um, but yeah, so he won the overall, and then we had Josh. I actually can't remember how young Josh is, but I know it's horribly young.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's early 20s.
Yeah, I mean, this guy's got lots of time to do even more, and he already looks pretty fucking ridiculous. Maybe he could
Yeah.
have chased the glutes, but it's like you're going to chase the glutes at the, what would he lose if he did? It's not a glutes competition, is it? I thought the
Yeah, he's
condition was, I thought the condition was really good. It's actually a pretty good video of him, to be fair. Um, his arms are ridiculous. I mean, he's
yeah,
just
he looks
the
Josh is pretty
insertion.
complete head to toe. It's just he's obviously a little bit light in the calves, which isn't isn't the end of the world these days. And he just has a little bit of a weird shape to the legs, which kind of throws him off a little bit. Which maybe as if it is close, that could be a deciding factor. He doesn't go like I want to say he doesn't go well together. Just something. I think it's just the shape of the legs, but yeah, very
Do you
impressive.
think it's just like the rec fem is too big, or like because he was really, really strong, wasn't he? And sometimes strength doesn't give you the best shape, but also
Yeah,
like
well, he is really strong. I'm still catch some of Josh's training videos, and he does come to Autoflex now and again to train. He's just got that young man monk strength, hasn't he?
yeah, he is wild in the gym. He is fucking wild. Anyway, he was second. Um,
Yeah, that looks. Obviously, I haven't seen the other guy from the back, but the other guy must have had a really good back as well.
yeah,
Actually, no, sorry, I did see a comparison
yeah.
of first and second from the back, and it looked like Josh smoked the other guy from the back. So I'm assuming this other guy was better from side and front. So
I think the guy, like, it must have been close. The other guy was just, he's pretty balanced. Like, from the comparisons, I couldn't really see, like, a
yeah,
fault in, like, anything. I mean, obviously, we're picking at hairs. They're both fantastic. Josh is incredibly young. The guy just didn't really have any holes, you
yeah.
know. But I think that Josh was more conditioned. He has better, like, he has, his tan isn't running. The polish is better. So, third was Joe Ballinger. I couldn't find any really good pictures of Joe Ballinger. Obviously, Joe Ballinger has been on the scene for ages. The only picture we have is his arse, which is, fantastic. Obviously,
Nice ass, Joe. No,
nice.
Joe's a good guy. I actually thought he kind of did he not change over to classic or something for a little while and then came back
Yeah, I
to
mean, I think, yeah, it's hard for Joe because it seemed like he struggled to get like he needs to be really, really big because he doesn't have the most tethered midsection, and so I think he struggled, and then he thought, well, maybe I'm more suited to classic. And in
yeah.
my humble opinion, I think Joe's place is being a super. I think it is. Um,
And what I remember from Joe is I do remember I went to a contest. It was where Luke Sandow was guest posing, I think. God rest his soul, Luke. It's somewhere in London. Or was it when Luke came on stage with Nathan and they did a little bit of a pose down or something like that? And I remember seeing Joe there, and I think he won his class and overall possibly. And I always thought Joe was more of a shapely guy, so I don't know whether he's trying to pack on some tissue and it went the wrong way, so he's trying
I
to
mean,
go backtrack on
he
it again. And yeah,
yeah, he
it's a
went
tough one.
for like he was like fitness model for a while, wasn't he? And
All right.
he had a great like shape. He had a great Joe's a great bodybuilder. I think that he should have stuck with one thing rather than trying because obviously you're trying to make a weight cap. It's going to set
Yeah.
you back, isn't it? So I think he was bigger maybe 5 years ago when he did the supers, maybe the same time that oh
Yeah, he's been going a while, Joe, hasn't he? And from what I
yeah.
remember, he always seems to come in pretty good condition. So
I mean, his condition's fantastic here. I know that he's got more, and he will be planning on more condition than that because it's a card that he can definitely play, and he's always been inside out. Even if you look at the shows he's done from like his first shows or whatever, condition is definitely what he can bring. And
yeah.
I know that Joe will have an even more advanced version of this to come. Another guy that I saw in one of the other categories was this guy, Bill Stella, and I think he must have been a heavyweight. And he was very complete and very competitive for the overall. Um, yeah, I just pulled him. I don't actually know the guy, but I thought he was really good. And then the other guy was the classic guy who won the overall. This is not a great picture of him, actually.
So the classic guy won the overall.
They do classic overall.
All right, sorry. So is it a case where everybody goes in for the overall, or is it just the
No,
weight,
it's
just
not
the
like it.
bodybuilding?
No, it's not like that. Um, where's this guy? He had some like shots outside, I think. These are thought from the back he has a really good shape, like squared off and everything. Like he's obviously like light in himself because the weight cap for amateur is pretty fucking low. It's only his second show. Um, I'm pretty sure that he's the brother of what's her name? The Pickford,
Oh yeah. So he's got the old. Has he got the
the
old big leg genetics?
the wellness girl.
Yeah.
Chloe, yeah, Chloe, that's the name. I think, but don't quote me on that. But anyway, there must be. Anyway, so that was the rundown. I th I thought it was a good show. I thought it was definitely like, yeah, like the winner was definitely there. I thought Josh was fucking close though, to be fair. It's
So is this show what was just being on, Dan? Is it the two bro scenario where you do have to get on stage
yeah,
to go for the pro qualifier thing?
yeah. So it's the regional qualifier, and then you can go for a show that you could get your pro card at afterwards. Like
So you
the
don't have
UK.
to win; you just have to basically get on stage and.
You don't have to win, you just have to turn up, which, I guess comes with the same result eventually. But obviously
Yeah,
there's loads of different pro qualifiers. There's lots of more opportunities to get the pro card. So
yeah.
it's like the UK BFF days when it was the whole UK. Um, so anyway, that was the rundown. Some good physiques to start the year off. And I think the pro qualifier is in 2 weeks. So look out for that. There might be some mad Russian or someone flying in that no one's ever heard of. Um, but it might be a repeat.
Hopefully, and I don't mean that in a bad way. It's nice to see some guys
Mm.
come through, isn't it? Some new blood and stuff. So and yeah, like some of the classic guys are really impressive. I watched it. We won't go into the Detroit Pro. We'll maybe cover that with when James comes. But yeah, there was some real good classic guys at the Detroit Pro.
Yes,
Very impressive.
it's like the gene pool, isn't it? Like the gene pool for bodybuilding, because it's more popular is finding people that are freaks. But
Yeah,
also with the classic division, you're finding these guys that don't weigh anything somehow, and their waists are just like
yeah, the
non-existent.
old graphite bones.
Yeah, exactly. So like the yeah, that's the good thing, I suppose, is that the kind of net is thrown further and the genetics are there. But then again, then genetics plays a bigger part, and it's like, you only realize that you're not the genetic elite once you've put in way too much time. It's
Yeah,
kind
when you get a guy who hasn't got that structure, who tries to do classic, and he hasn't got the small hips and the wide clavicles and stuff, and just tries to hit like an archer pose and like pretends to be classic when he really just needs to buckle down for another 5 years and put another 20
yeah.
pounds on maybe.
I mean, that is kind of what the category was, wasn't it? Like the UK BFF had classic bodybuilding. It wasn't called classic physique. It was just kind of
Yeah.
where people went before they were big enough. It wasn't really taken seriously. There wasn't like and now like it's a good class in its own, I think, for the just the mad ratios. Initially, I thought it was a bit ropey, but now it's like, how does that person weigh? Because they've got to weigh like 83 kilos or something, and
What's that on that guy? I have my calculator here.
well,
What
actually,
height, Dan? Sorry.
it's based on height, isn't it? I can't remember the fucking calculation. Someone's going to rip me on this for not
I think
knowing.
it's different from federation to federation, and
Yeah,
like
it is. But
I
that,
think even I think even pro and amateur might be different. I could be wrong there, so I do apologize
yeah,
if I
pro
am.
and amateur it has like around about a 10 pound discrepancy.
I'm assuming the pro is heavier, yeah.
Yeah, 10 pound more.
Yeah.
Well, roughly, because obviously it changes. It favors the tall guy because it's like a logarithmic sort of scales. I guess it doesn't quite.
I think that's how Bumstead kind of well, not obviously not just YXL, but I think he even had some weight for the Olympia, didn't he? He still wasn't like way up to the weight cut because of his height or something.
Um, yeah, so it's cut into like all of these
Why don't you try and do classic, Dan?
because I've got an ugly physique.
Yeah, I've got an ugly physique, but all you could just do a few archer poses. You got to learn how to do like a twist to the
Well,
back shot, get some sliders.
up to and including. No, this can't be right. Oh no, that's 6'7".
So what could I weigh if I was classic? So I'm 4 feet 2. I'm 5'6". What could I be at classic, Dan?
80.
Oh man, that's like shit.
Yeah, 177 pounds, apparently.
Yeah, I used to compete like 210. Well, in the later years, 210. So
Yeah, so that's probably not for you.
lose like 30 pounds from the waistline.
Um, yeah, that's so classic fucking. Did you have a question? Yours was quite interesting, actually.
What was I
Oh,
speak? Oh, just when you're speaking about the tan as well,
oh yeah.
because when you said that guy's tan run, we had a guy from Motorflex competing today, Kyle. Excuse me, at one of the FitX contests. Congrats to Kyle, he got second in both of his classes, and he improved. He looked well. Fair play to the guy. And no, I didn't coach him. I just gave him a hand the last few weeks because he was a little bit lost. And I said to him this morning, make sure your tan's like dark enough. Because you know what it's like, Dan. You've had issues before, and it was a nightmare for me when I turned over from like amateur using Dream Tan to professional, where it's
Yeah.
banned and you can't. None of those stains was ever dark enough for me. And I said, make sure your tan's dark enough. And he's like, yeah, I look black. And like, he sent me a couple of pictures. And I think a lot of guys don't realize how dark you have to be to look dark on stage,
Yeah, it's like
especially if the
ridiculous.
lights are shit. Because if the lights are shit and the tan isn't dark enough, it's like it's not an excuse for being out of shape, whatever, but it just makes you look worse. So yeah, guys, like don't be scared to ask, like, hey, can you give me another quote? Because I know these guys are super busy backstage or
Yeah.
whatever they're doing the tan. They've got so many people to do, and you don't want to be that dickhead. Like, hey, can you give me another quote? But it has to be really dark, especially for these
Yeah.
fucking shitty lights that like some of the contests have. So yeah,
I mean,
make sure you're dark enough, guys.
I know, I, um, I always do more tan myself and then go and get
Yeah,
the professional league tan. I've heard like some people promoting the use of like melanotan, like if you're really pale, but if you are really pale, like I have known people that have had to have like moles removed because of the impact on their like moles and like
yeah.
the combination of like sunbeds and it's not a. I'm not saying don't do it. Bodybuilding is not a safe existence anyway, but like sunbeds aren't a great idea, and adding something so you don't get burnt is probably, I don't know. I've found that
Honestly, I would say this is no homo. Just make sure you exfoliate and moisturize your skin as well, but not like because I know I was going to start busting your ass down because I know you haven't done anything like that at all, and you'll leave it to like 3 days out to start like exfoliating your skin. Like start doing it now. Like don't wait
I
till a
have
week
I
before the
have
show.
I have all the scrub. I can't.
Yeah, but that's why you just get Ron to do that or Abe because I know other don't do that.
I,
So no, it is important because if you tan shit on the day, you fucked. I'm not saying Kaz tan is shit. I don't mean that at all. It
no,
looked decent, but it could have been darker. And when he sent me a few shots over, so Kyle, next time get your
it's
tan
yeah, it's
darker.
one of those things. It's a learning curve, and it's like we worry about so many of the 1% things, but your tan can be like 10%.
It can
Like,
be like 30% if it's close.
yeah,
So anyway, not dogging on Kyle. He did great today. So well done, Kyle.
yeah. I've always struggled with the tan thing, and yeah, I
Yeah,
did.
I said this before. I had to have 12 to 14 courts for the time I did the UKBF finals of pro tan.
Yeah,
It's crazy, and that
what
still wasn't really dark enough to be honest.
I can't remember what I did. I messaged Dennis Wolf, and it probably wasn't him, but anyway, he told me this, or they told me this thing.
Yeah.
I used like the whole bottle before doing it, but I did use the whole bottle, and then I did a light wash off because otherwise it can go kind of like ashy, like and
Yeah, when I see I had 12 quarts of pro tan, basically you have to shower off after about, for me anyway, when it starts to go green and your pH starts to go up a little bit, you shower off, which for me was 4 quarts. So I was doing like 4 quarts in a day, like leaving a few hours in between quarts, getting up in the morning, showering off, which does dull it down a little bit, but then you top about when it goes even darker
yeah.
with another four, blah blah blah. But yeah, just get it nice and dark, guys. Get them. Hey, I'm not saying turn into a shriveled up raisin. Did you hear that? A motorbike outside. And on the sunbeds for like 6 months out. But yeah, get a little bit of melanotan, get a little bit of a base tan because it does make a difference, I think.
It does. It does, but yes, yeah. I'm fucking pale. I'm translucent. I'm red. You can see the blood in my face.
Hence
Like
the nickname there.
it's the what?
Hence the nickname. That's.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. Tan is like important. I fucking hate it. But I've only nailed tan once, and that was at the Arnold. Was the only time I got it right. And was the time when I did the whole bottle and went for the professional tanning. I think even if you're going to do your tan yourself, I know it's expensive, but just book it anyway. Just do it,
Yeah.
because even if it's just the finisher or the glaze or whatever, like having someone to like look after that backstage, like especially with two bros, they didn't let anyone backstage. You could just be faffing around. It's going to be a
Yeah.
nightmare. Right.
Damn
Um,
guys.
what was your question?
Oh yeah, the question we spoke about earlier was the guy messaged me earlier on today. Actually, I won't say his name because I know he has a coach, and he's just saying quite about some coaching and stuff. And he's looking for an online coach who does in-person check-ins, which I did say is very rare now, mainly due to the fact that like most coaches like yourself, if you're a full-time coach, it's just not like feasible to have like 20, 30, 40 people, 50 people come to the gym to check in. Because let's be honest, like, and this is not like this sounds so bad, but it's not going to be like 15, 20 minutes generally either. Someone say,
Mm,
can I have a quick pop into the gym, which is
yeah,
fine, but then it ends up like being an hour. And then
yeah.
let's see, you had somebody else lined up and somebody after that. It's just, I know Leroy likes to do, if he said if he ever helps anybody, he likes to see people in person. But again, if you're a full time coach, it's just not really possible these days, is it,
Mm,
Dan? And to be honest, like the pictures we have nowadays, it's not like back in the day where you had to, take a picture on you and you like um disposable camera and then get it
yeah.
developed. Like the picture quality was shit. If anything, it's more harsh nowadays. Like the digital cameras make it look a little bit worse because when you come to the derm, I always say like shit, like you look a lot better in person, which is kind of a good thing if you think. I don't know. What are you feeling like, Dan, about the whole?
Well,
Yeah, don't get me wrong. If you're like a month out, we want to see you in person if possible. But like up to that point, I think pictures are fine.
yeah. Well, we always say like about the lighting as well. Don't go fancy lighting. Like if you look good in like reasonable lighting, you do look
Yeah,
good. Let the stage light be like the added polish rather than creating a stage lighting situation like in your bedroom, which I've seen people do with the backdrop, making
yeah.
sure their lights right above them, and like let that be like
The bathroom light or the kitchen down light.
yeah, like
Even I look shredded in those lights now. Like
get
I look like
the
a potato right now. So
like let this I always yeah always like you get on stage and then under the lights like oh even under the lights even better, but I mean I don't not all my people are competitors. I think that obviously there's a lot of coaches where it's all competitors and
yeah,
it must be insane. I always invite them to come, but I'm probably not going to drive like 3 hours to go and see everyone. um
yeah,
I know that a lot of coaches do a thing like where they try and get them all to come and do a meet up and stuff, which is okay if they've got shows around the time. That's probably a good idea. So I always invite anyone to come in the gym. I think like a lot of the people that coached when I was younger, like they usually like owned a gym, they knew the most. So they
yeah.
like,
That's what I used to do with Max Muscle. We get all the guys in. I mean, I'm seeing all of the guys. It might be like five, six, seven. We kind of take turns, do quarter turns, take some pictures of. But like you say, nowadays coaching's a much bigger thing. And I don't think you're a bad coach if you don't do in-person check-ins all the time because it's just not possible when you've got 30, 40, 50 people. I mean, I don't ever coach like 10, 15 people max. I think the most I've ever coached at one time is 15 people because I'm not a full-time coach like yourself. Like I have other business ventures and other stuff to get on with. But I do still like to do, but even I couldn't do 10 in-person check-ins a week
yeah,
uh,
yeah. It's
unless you were kind of close to a contest.
I think people as well that are like starting out because I think like if you're a coach and you're good and say you've even got like 20 like clients, you're still doing well. I know everyone looks up at the G wagons and all this shit and like whatever, but there's a middle bit as well for people,
Yeah,
and like the people doing better have got multiple people in shows and stuff, and they definitely go and stuff. With people that aren't making that much money, once you've like traveled to where it is, done an Airbnb, done like you're getting close to writing off the amount of money
yeah,
like that person paid for their prep. It's not to say that I haven't done it, I have done it if I've able to like correlate it, but it's a big hit for the smaller people that only have one. I'll always invite anyone to the gym to have a look. In fact, even if people are train in the gym and go, I want to have a look, I'm there because I'm there. And I think that that's what usually we're just coached, written on a piece of notepad by someone that was at the gym and you bumped into them a lot and they would go, all right, let's have a look, sort of thing. And
I
that,
don't know, guys. If there's any coaches watching this, stick something below. Do you do like every week in-person check-ins? Is it just closer to the contest? Is it like, what's your take on it? Because I
I
don't see
mean,
a lot of people doing in-person check-ins nowadays.
I mean, when I've coached people that like are from my, from the gym I use, like when Luke, you remember Luke,
Yeah.
and I saw him all the time, so it was easy for me to see him once, twice, or even more, like a week. It was easy.
Even let's say I am coaching somebody and I see them in person, like at a certain point, like every other week or whatever, I will still ask them even to still go home and do the pitches.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
so I've
Because
got
then
the
you get
same
the.
pitches to correlate against.
It's more about like seeing it to go, oh, that's what that looks in real life when it looks like that. It's like
Yeah.
linking it together, like putting a face to a name sort of thing. You're like, oh, okay, well and then it can give you a good idea. I've never seen someone in real life that I'd seen in pictures and thought, oh fuck, you're behind. It's actually usually the other way.
So
Uh,
you don't look worse in person.
if anything, it's usually like the other way.
Rumor was, Dan, that you actually have mandatory in-person check-ins on your coaching because you like to see men close up with their underpants in the gym.
Yeah.
So, and you give them the gym address, which is really your house in the bathroom.
Oh God, don't. I think there's been examples of this.
Dan's gym in the
There's,
shed in the dark.
there's,
Dan, why is there no lights on? And there's oil all over the place.
It's P. Diddy's.
Sorry.
I bought P. Diddy's stash.
Why does it smell like GHB in here? I don't know if you're allowed to
Oh
say that.
my God.
By the way, that used to be legal, guys. Back in the 90s, it was perfectly legal for bodybuilders to use. So
Yeah, you just sleep really well,
yeah,
very
but
quickly.
naughty people started using it for naughty things. But yeah, it used to put you into REM sleep very quickly, didn't it? Like very quickly.
Oh, if you weren't in the right place, you were asleep there. If you like suddenly went,
Yeah.
oh, I think I need a shit, that is where you're going to put your 8 hours down. That's
Yeah, I
what.
think I fell asleep on the toilet for about 6 hours before. Then,
Oh,
then it got banned. Then we all had to use GABA, which is nowhere near as good. I
oh,
don't even know if that's banned now. I think GABA's even banned now.
oh, that's good. Yes.
Never
Well,
mind.
never, definitely.
Sorry, I went a little bit off topic there. Just talking about rubbing men down in his shed down.
Well, yeah, if
Uh,
anyone does want to come and do in-person check-ins in my shed,
it's free. You only have to
at
pay the
£10 an
coaching
hour,
fee.
I'll pay you. See you there.
Ah,
Yeah, I think in person would be great. Just situationally, it's like usually not possible. Ultimately, if you've got a competitor, and you're like, "Oh, come and visit," and it's a feral slog. Usually, they can't be fucked to come and see you either. So it's like,
Plus, as well, a lot of gyms now are not like you said, like the old days. If we were in max muscle, it's not a big thing if somebody strips down their underpants at the dumbbell rack. We have a posing room at Autoflex. If the posing room's busy, you kind of should have to wait till you can get in there, type of thing, or you can book it out by the hour, whatever. But it's kind of frowned upon if someone strips down to the underpants at the dumbbell rack. It's just like we get normal people in there, everyday people. It's not really like suitable just to be people like doing quarter turns in the
yeah.
skidded underpants and the dumbbell rack. So
We luckily have an upstairs area that's pretty consistently. There's been a
yeah,
precedent. You may see people in pants there, but we don't have like a separate room. But the lighting's pretty good because it's got like Velexes from a little bit of natural light, and then
yeah.
so yeah, if you come to Trojan upstairs, don't be upset if you see someone.
Come to dance
Yeah,
upstairs.
don't come to my room.
There's a big
Definitely.
arrow with a curtain there. And just got to dance posing room. Oh, sorry. Again, just be an idiot.
Um,
Oh,
one of the things was like a backlash from. Remember, I made that video on like fatigue management, basically.
oh yeah.
And it got a lot of backlash or like doing deloads. It got like a lot of people being like, "Oh yeah, but did you have a deload or whatever?" And like, I don't know whether it's people don't like actually listen to it or whatever, but it's like I'm not saying that they're bad. I'm saying that it shouldn't be the first thing that you learn in training. That was, I don't know.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about this the other day, actually, about the whole, again, I'm not going to keep whacking on about the same shit, but like, people are just overanalyzing everything, aren't they? They're overanalyzing if they train too hard. They're overanalyzing if they're doing this movement, like, path correctly, if the elbow's tucked into this, like, direction and stuff, and which is great, but you don't really have to worry about that too much. Progress your lifts with some reasonable form till you have to start worrying about filling in this hole or that hole or this side delt or your rear delt or your outer pec or whatever. Like it kind of falls in line with that, doesn't it? Just
yeah,
hey, overtrain a little bit, see what it feels like. You probably won't get there for a while.
yeah. I mean, you definitely like know, like if you're like properly fucked, like pumps in the gym. Appetite usually goes the other way. You get like your appetite like goes down, your sleep goes shit because you're like CNS is fucked. You're like in a stress response. Like usually sleep goes down from like adrenaline and cortisol would then be the next in line. Um, the pump goes, your mood changes. Like if you're ticking like 3 out of the 5 boxes, then yeah, maybe. But I don't remember
Yeah,
ever.
let's rhyme them all off then, Dan. So you get a little bit irritable usually.
Yeah,
The sleep goes downhill, like you said. The appetite kind of dies, but don't kind of use that as an excuse straight away because you're in the off season. You do have to force feed a little bit. I saw a post from Lewis Breed the other day. It was a good post about like, I think you put like 40 pounds of tissue on from this picture to this picture. And he had on there like lots of force feeding and stuff because that's another thing people don't seem to want to do now is force feed. Like, oh, you got to like only have like 300 calorie maintenance and all this. Oh, sorry, over surplus or whatever. And it's nonsense, isn't it? Really, I think
yeah,
every big bodybuilder I know used to force feed, but yeah, the eating thing. Your libido tends to go in the shitter as well.
yeah.
What else?
The
Obviously,
pumps.
did I mention sleep? Yeah, pumping the gym just kind of. And yeah, you kind of if you're trying to beat the log button, progress, that kind of gets stalled and sometimes slides a little bit backwards. So
Yeah. So it's not saying I wasn't. Yeah. The thing was, I wasn't saying don't do them. I'm just saying if you start, and the only reason I started talking about this is because there's loads of really advanced information. There's loads of that, and people are just going straight to that. So I get millions of questions about like, oh, what should we do? And like, blah blah blah. Sleep hygiene. Like, you know, just get your sleep. Get your sleep. I mean, it's great that it's got a term and everything. But you're like everyone wants to know like what cycle and this one, and they're talking really advanced things about training protocols and talking about strength curves, and you're like, how much water do you drink? And they're like, well, I don't really know. I'd like probably not like very much. Oh, okay. What's your sodium intake? Oh, well, and a lot of the people that are going straight to these advanced things are like drinking no water.
yeah,
Like,
it's because that's what's pushed now online is all the advanced stuff because the boring stuff doesn't sell, does it really? Unfortunately,
yeah,
I keep saying I have this conversation, but I have it literally all the time. Like nobody wants to hear eat some chicken and rice and some other stuff for
mm.
10 years, lift as
and
heavy as you can, get a few injuries along the way. That's boring as shit, but it's pretty much what bodybuilding is, isn't it? For the most part.
and it's so common that I get that. It's like, are you going to the bed at like roughly the same time, like within a half an hour window every day, even on the weekend? Most of the time, no. And are you drinking enough water? And it's so common, and they're asking such advanced like questions, but yeah, they're just not even drinking water. It's like fucking mental. And so the reason I was doing the videos that are like stupid basic, like even though people have like read into them, I was like, well, I need fatigue, and I was like, well, maybe you're not in this, maybe you're not new. Um, the reason I did it is because
No, I think some basic stuff is needed to get pushed out there. And
it's
when we
just
did the back to basics thing, and I obviously said to Jay Magic Eye, and this is why I'm saying it because I said, "Oh, this is so fucking boring. This video's boring. Which it is boring, but that is the truth. It's pretty boring. Like
yeah,
the
especially
triceps do a push down, an extension, and a dip or whatever. Like, and it's not fucking exciting stuff.
especially
Uh,
at like the beginning when and I use the example of like, do you remember the first time you tried to do a dumbbell press, like even like a shoulder, you're like, like,
yeah, I remember saying to my Uncle Sean at the time, I was like, Sean, like my pet, my what is my chests. Obviously, I call it my chests because I had two.
oh yeah,
My chests feel uneven when I'm doing it. He's like, "Shut up, idiot! You've only got one set of pecs. Like, just stick with it." That was it.
yeah,
Didn't have this big fucking list of stuff that you had to check off. Just stick with them. It's fine. It's the
yeah,
first
yeah.
5 years. You don't have to do any fancy stuff really.
And so like, and I understand like 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 later on, like picking a bit, build enough muscle so that you can see a weakness and then maybe allocate, more work
Yeah.
in that direction. But yeah, lots of people talking lots of advanced stuff that's just
At
regurgitated.
this stand, there's lots of people talking about training, but they're not really doing any training. There's like lots of
Yeah,
videos. It's so boring. I just find it incredibly boring now.
yeah.
But then again, the new people probably find it really exciting because they can delve into all of this stuff and try all the stuff out, which is great. It gets people in the gym. But
Yeah,
after a few years, I think shit, like I can't even roll like a fucking 50 kilo dumbbell. Like,
yeah. Like, and I just, yeah. It's not there's anything wrong with it. I just think it's advanced, and people that are starting out are stalling their progress by concentrating too much on that and not working on their mental fortitude to train because ultimately it fucking hurts.
yeah, you're gonna be a little bit uncomfortable here and there, and yeah, you probably
Yeah,
are gonna overtrain here and then.
yeah.
Sometimes you're not gonna get enough sleep, but you still dig in anyways because life isn't perfect, is it? If I kind of went to sleep every time my aura ring told me to go to sleep, I would just be in bed all the time.
I can't even talk about my aura ring when I had it. I can't even talk about that little thing. If it was a person, I would have fucking stabbed it to death. Like the shit that it used to come up with. Oh yeah, maybe take it easy. It's fucking leg day. I'm gonna take it easy. Where am I gonna push it to tomorrow? I've got shit to do. Like, what are you fucking on
Yeah.
about? I was like shouting at it like it was a person. Like, what do you fucking mean? Yeah, I
Yeah,
would have
so we
never
will say
taken.
like deloads do exist and they should be used, but not probably as much as everybody thinks they should. Don't
Um,
worry about it too much. Worry
yeah,
about training too hard, not training too hard.
yeah. At first, definitely do that. And like the reps in reserve when you first start out, you're doing reps in reserve because you don't even have the control to train to failure anyway. You just don't. And like that's not like a me saying it, that's a me thing as well. When I first trained, I trained as hard as I could. And at the beginning, for still quite a long time, I was doing reps in reserve without even knowing it. And then
I can't even remember because it was like 100 years ago. I do remember when I look back, had all of the signs of overtraining, and then just thought I had to do more.
yeah,
I was
yeah.
probably even more
I mean,
overtrained.
I'm not saying yeah, do that.
Uh,
But it was just really a beginner's like thing. If you're 8 stone, you're not going to overtrain. You haven't got any muscles. It'll be fine. Like as long as you're like, but do drink water. Like definitely like just the
so
hierarchy.
it's the same one as when people say like, oh, I told you this one before, it was like years ago. This one, when people, I'm eating loads. I like, how
Mm,
much protein, how much carbs, how much fat you eating, whatever. I don't know, and I'll say, right, tell me what you eating for breakfast. What guy? So he said worrying about the little things. So he was asking all these questions on drugs and this and that. All kinds of, I think, 6 different things at the time. I was like, yeah, I'm eating loads, because that's usually the first one. You look at the training, and then obviously what you eating type of thing. I was like, right, give me meal number one, breakfast. So a cup of tea and a biscuit. I was like, yeah, this is where you're going wrong type of thing. That's the truth as well. I was having a cup of tea and a biscuit for
amazing.
breakfast.
Or the quantifiable, like, no, I eat loads. Like on Sunday, I had a roast dinner with my nan and I had like two. And you're like, but that's once. Like that's
Yeah,
one
this is what people don't get. It's like it has to be like every day for like years, not like
yeah,
a good
for
week
like
here and a good week there. Same with the
yeah.
training. Like, oh yeah, yesterday was a real hard session. Like that should be it all of the time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I get some stick because I'm a bit of a hard ass and stuff. And it's like when people have really good sessions, sometimes they're like, well, you didn't say anything about my good session. It's like, well, because I expect that of you. Like,
Yeah,
don't get me wrong, I have like lifestyle clients that get a little bit more of a cuddle. But if you're a bodybuilder and you want to do shows, you don't get fist bumps over doing a hard session. You get like maybe, yeah, cool. Like good.
yeah,
That's
that's kind of the old way, isn't it? Like you didn't get like a big cuddle.
oh mate.
Maybe it's me just emotionally not in tune, Dan.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, mate.
I sometimes feel bad when I say, "Hey, well done." I think, well, should I say more? Like, I'm just not. I'm not that.
But if you
What's the
said
word I'm looking for?
here's the thing, if you said it all the time, when you said it, would you know? You'd be like, what is it really?
Yeah, I guess so. I think it's the same when, like, I know you don't share many pictures of your clients. The only time I'll share anything is if they tag me and I'll reshare it.
Yeah.
I won't put a post up saying, "Hey, like, well done" or whatever.
Well, quite a lot of people,
Unless they tag me or something. Or
yeah.
I don't even
Quite,
think me and you've got a picture to show together. Dan, like, you just come off stage,
yeah.
you get flipped in the nuts, and then it's like, right,
Yeah.
see you next
I
week.
yeah, well some of my clients don't like me doing it. Some of them are coaches themselves, so don't like me telling anyone. Like,
Yeah, I know what you
so
mean.
like I just respect the privacy. And yeah, if they, I've asked them, please, if you want to, then share some stuff, and some people do, and
Do
some
it
people
now. Do it.
some people don't. But I know I probably should be pushing it a bit further, but I'm trying to not. I'm not really trying to create that.
Yeah, people. There's loads of people who still don't know you coach now. People don't know I've online coach for 10 years because I had to have a look on YouTube to find that video when I first advertised online coaching. It was like shit. I'm sure I've showed you. like online coaching, like off-season plans. Like,
I
man,
remember,
it's horrendous.
I
But it
remember
was cool
seeing.
back then. But yeah, I think it was like 10 years ago now. Um,
I definitely like was helping people, but initially like it was just for free. Like I'd done a bit and I'd help other people that had done less. And yeah, it was
yeah.
I didn't have like kind of, three or four people. And then it became like a thing and I was like, oh well, I'll try and do this thing and started really cheap just a minute.
I don't know what you used to call it back then. You weren't a coach, I can't really call it. Yeah.
I just thought you just said you were helping
You
someone
said
out,
you were helping someone, didn't you? Yeah.
helping someone out. But yeah, that was kind of it really.
Did I ever tell you? I'm sure I told you. I don't know if I said it on the podcast. So, you ask people for a diet and stuff. And there was nothing kind of tailored to yourself. It was just like, oh, this guy did this, so you try it. There's another guy who passed away. I didn't know him. Rest in peace, Andy Hornsby. Some guys on here might know who he's a huge junior bodybuilder, like massive, great, like crazy structure and stuff. He passed away at a very young age. Again, my uncle Sean said, hey, just try this diet. But bear in mind, this guy was like 280. So that was his that was his off-season diet. I was trying to eat this when I was just like kind of getting started. So yeah, there's some pluses and minuses. Like,
Oh,
yeah, stuff is a
100%.
little bit more tailored now, and it is a good thing because yeah, you just followed like that big guy's diet, and like yeah, you just couldn't do it.
100%. And I like having someone look after my own shit. I don't want to think about my own shit, really.
Yeah,
I think about other people's like stuff. I think the thing with like a lot of it, and I was trying to think about because you get this in sport, don't you? And like you put up anything and there's someone going, oh, fucking shit form. And it's kind of like when you go to a football match and someone's like shouting at someone who's played football since they were five. They're literally the top and they're like, oh, fucking go up the left wing, you shit, you shit. And it's like, oh, how did he
there's
miss?
always this. There will always be that guy, like that guy. We're going to the post
Yeah.
on Instagram the other day. Like, we did when James came, we did those dead stock T-bar rows, and the guy's like, oh, he's screaming like a little girl, or you got no control over the weight. Like, if I wanted to roll that weight strictly, I could, but there's a reason why we did that. I'm not even going to bore the shit out of people. Or should I bore the shit out of people? Number one, it was fun because that is an aspect of training. Like, it was fucking fun. We said, hey, should we chuck some weight on there, do some nasty fives, what we made up, trademark that is at company's house has been trademarked now. You do 5 reps, you put a plate on. The dead stop was mainly for me because of the elbow, because on a T-bar, your medial head and your elbow kind of stabilizes the weight a little bit, so the bottom bit still gives me issues. So that's why we did that. And I just fucking guys, yeah, my 15-year-old client's got better form than that. And that was a pro bodybuilder from 20 years ago and stuff like that. I went on his page and he's doing all the cable shit and stuff. And
Oh
it's
no,
just
I
and
hound
then obviously you got my people on my page like DMing me like, black. I was like, don't even bother because these people want that. They come on your page, they make a comment. I'll
Mm,
reply once. Then I don't do back and forwards of like Instagram
yeah,
fights
yeah,
online. It's fucking pathetic. So
fuck that.
these guys kind of want a bit of attention and they want you to reply. They want any attention's like
Yeah,
good
yeah.
or bad. They just want some attention. So yeah, there's always a reason why we do some certain shit. We did all the squeezy pull downs and the pullovers and stuff. And yeah, we
But
just want to chuck some weight on the bar. And again, it was still, I could still feel it in my back. If you look closely, you can see I always reset my kind of upper back before I pull it again. And my back was sore as shit head to toe in all the right places. So I think, like James said, I think we kind of know something after we've been doing this like 20, 30 years. We kind of know a few things here and there. So just
well,
chill out, man.
and also sometimes you're with some of the lads, you're like, let's fuck each
Yeah,
other.
exactly. That's fucking
Let's
have a bit of
fuck each
fun.
other up. And we do that sometimes at the end of leg day if my knee hasn't fallen out. We're like, yeah, should we do like giant sets, extension hacks?
Yeah.
Should we just fuck each other up for a laugh just to see whether we've got the minimum?
People are allowed to have fun in the gym still. I'd
Yeah,
say not
because
everybody's like again overanalyzing this and that. And some people are like they're going to fall asleep. Like they're so focused on this other bit rather than the actual effort. And sometimes it's just hard to push yourself
yeah,
just to see how hard you can push.
yeah, yeah. I think that is. We get to the point when you're like, get a war on with a couple of guys. You're like, let's fuck each other. And I remember
Yeah,
like having training partners, like training with Luke and like back in the day, training with a guy called Stanners and whatever. We like were horrible to each other, fucking each other up, knowing that you get it in return.
yeah.
But like that's what was needed. Like,
But it brings the best out in you, doesn't it?
yeah, that for me was like what I always loved about it was like, let's see
And the
how.
noise thing, yeah, he was like, oh, he's screaming like from the first rep. It's called getting yourself psyched up. Like, yeah, that first plate wasn't hard, but like, yeah, you sometimes give yourself like fucking. I
Yeah.
won't swear too much, but yeah, you give yourself a talking to it. It's not because it's hard. It's because, why do you think most people who train hard as shit giving themselves a bit of a screaming to or a bit? Do you think Branch Warren's like talking to himself just for the gram? Like that's how he used to. Yeah, I'm not gonna try and do. Dan, you do the Branch Warren. James is
I
the Branch
can't.
Warren impression.
No, I can't do it. I
Yeah, he's
can't.
not saying like, "Oh, come on, motherfucker," with a plate on. He's getting himself ready. He's preparing himself.
Yeah.
He's kind of, yeah, that does exist. Like shouting
I've
and stuff does help you perform better.
yeah.
It's proven, isn't it?
I've
Certain
gone.
music, certain sounds, whatever.
Yeah, yeah. I've gone through phases of making more noise, less noise, internalizing, thinking dark stuff, thinking, yeah, it depends where I am in my life, I guess.
I'll be honest. Sometimes I will watch some old videos back. I think, Jesus, like, why are you being so loud? You know better. But at the time, I don't know I'm doing it.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah,
It's
definitely.
just comes out. It's called, guys. It's called passion or desire or whatever you want to call it. That's what it is. It's not trying to be cool or sound fucking awesome on the video. It just happens. So
Yeah.
never mind.
I do watch some of the back and I think, dickhead, it's not for me.
Yeah, yeah. So I do the same.
But at the time, I was just like, yeah, whatever. I think bodybuilding is unique because it's the one place where ultimately you get this, especially in American sports. You'll find someone that's like, I don't know, ice hockey. I'm really into ice hockey. And I really know like loads of stats and stuff like that and all the science about the formations and all that sort of stuff. But I'm a fan. And I'm not going to play. I did play ice hockey when I was a kid, but I'm not going to play ice hockey. But bodybuilding is that one thing where you can be a fan and still be involved, still do it at any level because it's so personal. So it's cool, like be a fan, have your own things about the thing, be the guy at football shouting, "Oh, ref, like, oh, I would have scored
Yeah.
that," or whatever. But don't then go and shit it at someone who's obviously done much better than you. Like that doesn't make any sense.
The thing I don't understand with Instagram is I scroll past stuff every day, and I think, oh, what the hell's that? But I wouldn't actually stop and take the time to say, hey, unless it was a friend of mine, I would maybe DM them and say, oh, you want to try it this way, or whatever, or be careful with this because I've had this similar injury doing that, whatever. But why would you stop on a page and like say, hey, stop doing that, you whatever? And not that it bothers me. I actually feel sorry for these type of people who are just sitting on fucking Instagram following people.
Yeah,
It's just a waste of time. Like, why?
it's just the yeah. There's
If
the
you don't like it, just scroll past. Like, go away.
yeah, yeah. Let's see how like
Anyway, rant over.
people like do it. Um, I can't even remember where that fucking started.
Yeah, you're on about shit like shit form and stuff.
Um, yeah, no, yeah, it was the video about starting out. There's the reason I like chose the starting out because there's such a huge gap. I think, and like you said, people are worried about sarcomeres and all this sort of stuff, and like ATP production from like and like they're not even drinking water. Like it's like fucking mental. It's just and it's not.
I think Dorian Yates said it the best. He said the internet is educating people and confusing at the same time. It's like
Yeah.
there's not all information is good information. There's too much out there now. So
Well, also, there's loads of different ways to do it. Like we love
yeah,
high intensity training. It's what sang to me when I watched Blood and Guts. I was like, I want to do that. Does it mean that you can't go and build a good physique doing higher volume and stuff like? No, loads of people have done it. Have loads of people like got really big doing that? Yeah. Have people got big doing high intensity? I think there has to be an element of intensity, and there's obviously a correlation between how much volume can do and there's a correlation. You can't do high intensity and high volume, um, it just wouldn't work. Well, you get a drop off through your session anyway, but there's so many different like ways of doing the same thing. And
yeah, it's that old saying, isn't it? You can be a marathon runner or a sprint. You can't do both. Like you can't train mega super intensely hard for 3 hours, but you can do like I say we speak about then you like I'm kind of training like this now. Well, I've just started back. I'm like a potato at the moment, but I am starting to ramp things up a little bit again. We've thought about this, haven't we? Where instead of doing like one set of 12 out of 10, you're having to do like maybe two sets of 8 out of 10.
yeah,
I think that's where the volume and intensity thing goes, because if you're doing like a set and a back off set, you're probably not doing force reps and negatives on that the other
mm.
end of the spectrum type of thing. Am I
Yeah,
making sense there or not?
you could probably get a couple of like yeah, you could probably get a couple of spotted ones or whatever. And being older, yeah, I definitely don't. I'm not doing tons of negatives and stuff like that, and I am doing higher volume because that's the payoff. Because I
Yeah,
was
because the intensity isn't as high, so you got
yeah.
to replace that with something else. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's something that I like had to do. But mate, I didn't have a sore knee or a sore anything until after I was 35. It's only been in the last 5 years that I've had to make adjustments. I made the best gains doing one set, training body part every 8 to 10 days. Like so that did,
Yeah, my heaviest and strongest, I was hitting everything once every 10 days, and I was, doing the force reps, the legs,
yeah.
static holds, drop sets, all that kind of stuff.
But I can't rely on my body being able to do that turning up. And imagine you're training everything every 10 10 days, and your knee plays up and you drop a session, or like not drop a session but you're like pulling it back, like
So
what
you
you're gonna.
train legs like 4 times a year.
Yeah, exactly, like you can't do that. It's better to like do like um
Yeah.
yeah, to hit them like more
It's a
often.
bit safer training like a pussy than you mean. Nah, I'm only joking. I know where you're at the
But
scenarios, because
I mean,
I'm
you're
even past that part now. I'm even I'm the even worse part, which is fine
what
because I'm not competing anymore, so it's all good. But if
mm,
I was in your situation, I would be doing exactly. Well, I'll be. If I was outside looking in, I would be doing exactly what you're doing. If you asked me to do it at the time, I'll probably just ignore everything you said.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'd probably push it a little bit harder than I should.
Yeah, I know you would, Dan. That's why it's that thing where both ends of the spectrum. So if you've got someone who's highly motivated, you kind of think they're going to do mostly what you say, like 80, 90%. You probably go past that way. Or the other guys who you coach, who are maybe not as motivated and a little bit lazy, and they will slack here and there. You've got to rely on they do at least
Yeah,
80% of what you're going to see. You've got to have some leeway there.
yeah, exactly. The
Everybody says they do exactly what you say, but they don't
yeah.
deep down. Unless there's what that one guy who might here and
Yeah,
there,
yeah, yeah.
who's just a robot.
But also, it's like on the day sometimes. That's why I say to some people, it's like if you're on fire, take that session. Like take
Yeah.
it. Even if you've got a fucking A1 flip chart, like just don't look at it. The amount of people that go, "Oh, I was training with someone and they put on 2 plates instead of one," and then I got off and I realized, I'm like, you've shown yourself that
Yeah.
subconsciously you've been a pussy. Like the mind
Yeah.
is a crazy fucking thing. If you think the weight's on there, we used to sneak little plates, biscuits
I've
on.
done that loads of times. I did that last week to a guy doing back. He was on the prime,
Yeah, mate.
did the show. He's on the prime seat to go, and he's like looking away. And I was spotting somebody on some, I can't remember, I was deads or something. I was PTing, and I slipped an extra five on it. I was like, oh. And he just finished. Like, I was like, yeah. Like, oh, like, yeah. Sometimes you just don't overthink it, do you? You don't know what's
Also,
in there.
have you ever said to a PT client, right, like, and I don't do this because there's always one more and all that sort of shit, but you say 20 reps to someone or give them a rep range and you watch them, like, they will fail. Like, oh, at like 18, they're like, oh, 19, and they get the 20. But it's like, what are the chances that you perfectly failed on 20? Like, it's just that
What
you've got,
I usually do is I do the five at a time thing. So I'll say, right, jump on there. We'll do five at a time, because five's not 20. You
mm,
don't get psyched out. So we'll do the first five. Then I'll start again. I generally count to five, then I start counting to five again rather than 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
yeah,
So we do five, so the mind doesn't get caught up in the numbers thing. And later on,
yeah,
I'll tell you the same. That's why the whole one fucking more thing comes. Because if you say, right, give me fucking 20 more, you're like, fuck, my legs are on fire already. Like, what the
yeah,
hell? There's no way. But
yeah,
if
yeah,
you did like one more, than two more, than give me three.
yeah, yeah,
One more there if you want it in there. Like, you've done another eight before you blink, type of thing. So
yeah.
that's where it comes from. It's not just about making noise, shouting at people. There is a kind of a little bit of a psychological aspect there.
Here's something else that I came across. Like the prime stuff that has the prongs for like the strength profile and stuff. And then Joe, hypertrophy coach, was talking about this is how we make it sound like cool, and he made it sound like newer. He was like, and he was analyzing Leroy training. He was like, Leroy's not spotting, he's profiling. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and it is obviously spotting is an art, and we just used to say we were spotting, but apparently we were profiling because you only spot at the very hardest bit when it's the weakest, so that you can exhaust the whole muscle through the whole range. And like some of the machines are now designed to like do that as well. Um,
Yeah, this is what I explain to people as well. When I have my hands near the bar, or I have my hands, like, let's say I'm doing a leg extension, I might get my hands there a little bit earlier. It's because
you
I want to just get it just before you kind of fail and get you through that last bit. There's
don't
no
want to
point
get
like me missing it and then you getting stuck in the static, and it kind of
yeah,
ruins the set.
yeah,
So yeah, that's maybe someone might say to me, I'm fine. I'm like, no, I'm not touching it. I'm just getting ready. Don't worry,
Yeah,
I'm just getting ready. Like,
yeah, yeah,
sometimes that gives somebody a little bit extra confidence as well because they know your hands are there. They don't know when they're going to fail because they know you're going to be there anyways. So it has a
yeah,
double kind of
yeah, yeah.
effectiveness, if you like.
And so, like, if we wanted to make it sound cool, spotting, then we could say that we're matching the strength resistance profile of the movement using
So
physical.
now someone has to give you a profile, not a spot.
Well, if you
Excuse me,
do it,
pal. Could you give me a profile?
if you're doing it like, well, what's the one part that you wouldn't help with? The negative, right? Ever. You'd always have it off by the time that.
Well, I have been extra nasty before. Then I've had some like I've done some pushing down on negatives
Oh,
before.
yeah. You've
That
I
used to be a thing years ago, didn't it? I can't
yeah,
remember who was promoted years ago. But yeah, you were doing the push down on the negative. Did you
yeah.
ever see the Nautilus machines that they brought out? I saw them one year at FIBO, so quickly I won't bore the shit out of everybody, but this is for the machine geeks. So they had this machine where um supposedly like in theory you're about 30% stronger on your negative than you are on your positive. So
Hmm.
they had like a stack on it. So you would do the positive, the stack would like flip, add an extra 30% on the negative, so you'd come down, boom,
Oh,
back. But these machines were huge, they had to be plugged in. Funny that because FIBO's on next week, isn't it? I just mentioned FIBO. They have like a huge equipment hall, but I never ever saw them. If anybody ever sees anyone in the gym, guys, let me know. But I can't remember what they're called. It was definitely Nautilus. The stack would like flip, add 30% more resistance on the neg, then it would come off for the positive again. But
mm.
yeah, they were huge, like 20 grand a machine back then, and like plugged in with
Well,
electricity and
if
all
it
that kind
like
of shit.
flipped straight on, I don't know if I'd like that.
Yeah, it kind of made you train quite strict as well because you had to wait for the machine to like flip and then yeah,
Oh,
it was an interesting concept, but obviously it didn't ever come off
yeah.
because I haven't seen them in any gym anywhere.
I guess the kind of thing with it's funny because we're all saying like, oh, people are like, oh, they're keeping it basic, they're dinosaurs, and it's like I can explain it and make it sound like really
Yeah,
complicated if you'd like. And Joe, like hypertrophy coach, who I think's wicked, did a lot
that's
of
why I share Joe's stuff because I tell him he explains things a lot better than I do, and he's
yeah,
got a nicer beard than me, and
mm,
he's a very well spoken gentleman.
yeah,
He's a very knowledgeable, and he puts it across in a layman's terms, doesn't he? Instead of trying to like
yeah.
make it sound all
But
complicated and shit.
Well, but also he takes some of the stuff we just say giving a spot and he like breaks it down and like because we say like keep it basic, but some of the stuff that we took for granted because it's not that basic. Like spotting in the way that we were is like a skill in itself. Like um,
Yeah,
and a lot of the things like it's just that people don't need to know like the ins and outs
yeah.
like necessarily like fractional like you, not
We still
necessarily.
need to get Joe on actually, but unfortunately he has to do one during the week, and I'm trying to tie it in where Leroy's available during the week because I didn't know this. I didn't even know Joe had kids. Not everybody shares everything on Instagram, but he's got kids. He says he does podcasts. It kind of has to be during the week type of thing when the kids
We've
are at
got to get
school
in
and
with
stuff. So
Leroy. That's the
yeah,
thing.
that's the thing. So we will get it tied up at some point.
Yeah, I just that would be awesome. The other kind of thing that we were talking, well, we kind of already covered was like volume versus like intensity. But and then the other thing's frequency, isn't it? So like
Yeah,
I guess like the thing is
that seems to be quite common now where people are doing like hitting something not as hard but more times a week. I guess
yeah,
that's maybe just I guess it's just a mental thing for me. I used to
or
like to
just
go to the gym, smash everything up, and then get out. I like the feeling of that. I
yeah.
didn't like the feeling of leaving something in the tank, but maybe
The
if it was more productive, could you do it, Dan, or would you still kind of struggle with that?
It would have to just be a volume. It would have to be some sort of like DC style. Like it would have to still have the intensity of it, but the volume be super low.
Yeah.
Which was
But
the
my
whole
volume used to be super low anyway, so
yeah, I
uh,
mean, yeah, but that's a bit, yeah, like say now, like you could go like without the spots and stuff like that, then if you brought the volume down a little bit more, like if you were doing the same volume that we did, like the one set thing, but you weren't giving it like spuds.
let's give someone an example
I
of
don't know
a
how I would do it.
low volume. What would low volume biceps for you be, Dan? I could give you my old bicep routine. And it's so short and simple. It's like,
Well, yeah, well, originally I would start with either a barbell or a dumbbell.
yeah, but
Uh,
like how many warm ups, how many
oh, warm
sets, how
ups, I'd
many?
walk. if I was warming up, I'd probably do 5 warm-ups, like some hammer ones, because I find like my forearms take a beating. But ultimately, if I train back first, I've already done some things that
Yeah.
is going to give someone the biceps too, and then yeah, then I do like th 3 warm-ups, say on if I'm doing dumbbells, because obviously I've got to go up like I don't know reasonably high, I don't know 30s or something, and
That's an interesting thing, actually, what we'll quickly cover after you said this, because that's something I get asked all the time. Sorry,
and
no, just while I remember that.
do you want to do it now in case you forget?
But yeah, so people say to me, like, when they train like HIT, it's like, how many warm-ups? Now that really depends on like how much poundage you're using, isn't it?
Yeah,
So if you can only squat 2 plates, let's say it's your first exercise, right? Because obviously your first exercise is going to take a few more warm. So I
yeah,
would maybe do the bar for 20 reps. I would do a 10 kilo for 15 reps. I would do 1 plate for 6 reps. I've never been a fan of the whole 1 rep thing. I know a lot of GP guys do that, like 1 rep, then put it back. Then I'll maybe do a plate and a 10 for like 6 again, and then the 2 plates to failure. But if you're squatting 6 plates, you're gonna have to kind of do a little bit more kind of
yeah.
pyramid up, aren't you? You're not gonna go like 1 plate, 2 plate, 6. You're gonna have to
No,
go like 1, 2, 4, 5 for a few. Like, yeah, it kind of depends on your poundage, what you're using, but
yeah,
generally, first exercise gets 3 warm-ups regardless, whatever weight you're using. And again, it depends on where you. So I find out what the movement pattern is. If I was going from like a machine brace row to a barbell row, where you're bringing your lower back in, you're going to maybe have to warm that area up a little bit more. But yeah, I guess that's where a coach comes in and a PT comes in to show you that kind of stuff. But yeah, it's because it's such a varying kind of.
yeah. I
If
did
I, if
run.
I was doing like barbell curl and I was going into a hammer curl afterwards, I might not even warm up with any hammer curl.
Mm,
I would just do a straight set type of thing if it was the last
yeah,
exercise.
I think I always do one because I want to gauge.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Number one, you want to gauge it, see if you can actually, feel what it feels like. And I know there's a thing about like, firing up certain motor units and stuff that does actually count. That's why I've always done more than the one. But I mean, hey, if the 1 rep is all that it takes, then I do get it. But yeah, I always minimum one for me is 5, 6, as
Yeah,
in rep range.
I mean, especially in the moves. Obviously, now I see a lot of people, and apparently we're not like people don't ego lift anymore, but they do more than ever. Like I always used to start with higher reps, like in their warm-ups,
Yeah, and
like,
then they kind of
and then
come
they
down,
would
don't they? Yeah.
slowly go down because you don't want to hit failure on your way in. Um, but like now, people are like their warm-ups are generally like 5, 5, 5, 4. Like you want to put some blood in there, like even just
Yeah, if it's first exercise, first set, I'll probably do 15, 20.
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I'd probably do that on dumbbell or bicep. Nowadays, if I'm doing if I'm doing an exercise like a big one, I usually pick like 2 or 3 moves and just alternate between them. If I'm doing back, I'll do a row and flush through, high row, flush through. If I'm doing legs, I'm doing extension, a leg curl, and a little bit of hack, like doing a rotation before I even start my warm up because I'm old as fuck.
Yeah,
So
I kind of have to do that now. I always remember taking the piss out of Jose when I went to train with him in Boston. I was like, shit, Jose, how long is your warm up taking? Like, he's like, man, wait till you get older.
mm,
I'm there. I used to
yeah,
warm it in like 5 minutes. Now it takes like 20 minutes to get warmed up for the rest of the
it's
basic world.
It is annoying. So biceps, yeah, would be like dumbbell. Then I'd probably do a straight bell and some straight set there. And I would do one, like this is not now like at the height. Then I'd probably do like a drop set on a machine like preacher or something like that. Um,
Yeah.
and then I'd probably do hammers, and that would pretty much be it.
Yeah, mine was pretty similar. So if I was doing biceps, if I used to do biceps after chest, if I was doing biceps after back, I'd probably only do 2 bicep movements. But if it was after chest, I would do EZ bar curl, because obviously when your arms were a bit bigger, you didn't have that kind of supination. Rather, if you guys, there's another one, guys. If you can use a straight bar, guys, fine. Use a straight bar if you can, because it does supinate the bicep out, and it is a bit more effective for your biceps. But if you're a bit bigger and you've got no like fucking external rotation on your wrists, like I have now, but not back then. Had to use the easy bar. So three warm-ups pyramiding up because it's the first exercise, one set of failure, maybe some forceps or a drop set. Then I'll maybe do a preacher curl with a dumbbell or a machine. Probably one warm-up, then one in. Again, past failure with either like a drop set, forcep, whatever. Then some hammers, maybe just one set to failure, maybe some rest pause or something. It's something light to finish off, just some one set of concentration calls to like 25 reps. I mean, we were doing the advanced stuff back then, Dan. What is that called now when you do it a light set at the end?
Our
There'll be
metabolic.
some technique.
We're doing some
Isn't
metabolic
that
work.
sarcoplasmic work?
Yeah, sarcoplasmic metabolic work. Yeah, sarcoplasmic hyperplasia.
Yeah, that's it. That is it, isn't it? So
Yeah.
it's basically heavy with something light at the end.
Yeah.
That sounds more sexy than hyperplasia.
Yeah, do some light shit at the end. Fluff. Do some fluff. I mean, the whole thing for me was like, if I got to the end of the session and there was something at the end where I thought, oh, it's okay, I've only got that, I'd cut it out.
To be honest, the thing about the whole flushing thing through wasn't even that you didn't think you were causing any growth. I didn't even know about hyperplasia back then or whatever. It just felt good to get a bit of extra pump in your arm, didn't it? And have a look in the mirror at the end. And that was it.
Yeah. I usually felt that for some reason helped my DOMs.
Yeah, you were just flushing out the lactate, Dan.
Yeah, no lactate for me. I'm
Just
lactate
flushing out
free.
the urea.
I'm
That's
lactate
one
free.
thing I wish I used to do because it does make a difference as well. Obviously, me being diabetic, all these kidney issues and stuff. When you finish your workout, guys, shovel like a litre of water down you at least, just to flush out that uric acid and all that shit, especially after like legs and back.
Yeah, people don't drink
Yeah.
water. They don't drink water.
I scream when I see people drink the kind of Monster during training.
Or now they drink it after because they're like, well, I'm tired from training. I'll drink the Monster after. It's got to be the worst thing you can do, right?
Oh, yeah.
Ellis says I do that. Yeah, well, never mind.
You don't drink cans of Monster, Dan. You're not a teenager.
I don't. Alice does.
All right. Well, Alice is still young, so she's still allowed.
Yeah, she can do it. She's still alright.
As long as it hasn't got any gin in.
Not yet. Not yet.
I think some things that I see in the gym that makes me people eating like flapjacks during training. Like,
how do you not
eat
throw that up?
training.
How do you not throw that up?
It comes from that old saying when your mum used to say, "Don't go swimming on a full stomach." I used to think it's because you would sink because of the weight of the food.
I think about it, so did I. Yeah,
the blood goes to your stomach to digest the food, doesn't it? So you don't get a pump type of thing. Sorry, my eyes are really itchy. There might be the pollen or something. But yeah, that's another one. People eating during training. What else is another one?
Powerlifters like that, don't they? Haribos and flapjacks whilst training. Like your body's gonna have a good time breaking that down whilst you're doing stuff.
There used to be a guy, Paul Upland. God, this is another person who passed away. Rest in peace, Paul. I didn't know Paul well, but I used to see him in Jez's gym. He would have a tub of 90 plus. Remember that stuff? 90 plus protein, like pure shit protein, like crap stuff years ago. He would actually mix a shake during training, like swigging them down. Like 3 shakes during training. Yeah, that probably didn't help.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a sicker. I'm not a vomiter. I don't think I've ever vomited. Just because I'm not a vomiter.
I've never been sick during training. I felt like I was going to be sick and then
given like a gag
or pass out. Yeah. But I've never actually threw them. That's not trying to sound like a hero. Like, hey, if you need to throw it,
no, some people are sick. I've shat myself though. So
I don't think I've shat myself. I've had diarrhea. Sorry, during training with Leroy and Ernie that time when we filmed for the DVD. That was fun. Luckily, that was filmed in black and white because I was quite a weird shade of grey.
Yeah, like a nosebleed and all that. I'm just not a sicker. Even when I used to drink heavily, I'd never vomit. Just not because I'm hard. I don't know. I'm not a vomiter. And I generally don't get headaches. It's just one of those things, you know. But I'm a nosebleeder. You know, some people get nosebleeds and some people need to go to A&E. It's like if I got a really bad headache, I'd definitely be having like a fucking aneurysm. I'm just not a headache guy.
Yeah, I've been having a couple of headaches as of late, but that's just due to some blood pressure issues, which I've never ever had ever. Even when I was heavy back in the day, I never had blood pressure issues, so I don't know what's going on right now. Probably
That's
just
it. Yeah, that's one of
some life down.
That's one of the things I feel like I should have high blood pressure, and the doctor always double checks it. He's like, "No,
I should."
Yeah, I feel like I should. I feel like maybe
you should be really like 305 pounds.
Yeah, mate, I've been to the doctor and they've been like, "This can't, no."
Yeah.
And they go and get the leg one then, don't they? Because it must be the cuff's the wrong size.
Yeah, luckily I still have to have the big one. I'm not that small yet.
I've made it. when I remember the first
Yeah.
time, like,
I was just gonna say the first time, I'm like, oh god, yeah,
yeah,
go and get there, go and
yeah,
get the obese person one.
yeah,
Yeah, I think the time when I have to buy like the small one again, I think I'll just fucking take a high rock or something.
yeah.
Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
Oh God, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, I don't.
But yeah, hopefully we can get Leroy and Joe on. Like, we keep saying that, but it's just, yeah, we're just so unorganized. And it's not that. It's like you say, we can't get Leroy and Joe's diary kind of to
Yeah,
correlate.
that's the main thing. We want to see
Because
them.
we need the old school guy and the new school old school guy. Because Joe is kind of both, isn't he?
Yeah,
He kind of like not defends both sides, but he kind of explains both sides, doesn't he? Type of thing.
well,
So that's
it's
why I want to
it's
get him on.
it's the fact that what we were doing is actually not that simple, but
Yeah,
we,
he has a way of making the old school basic stuff sound a bit cooler.
yeah, but it's that we just learned it. Like we weren't really, you just learned it, and you
Yeah.
knew like what it was doing, um, but it's like the things that you take for some things you take for granted. Like sometimes when you get people that sign up to to things and to the fitness thing, the base level knowledge of like what like diet is or what macros are is so low, but you take those things for granted. So I haven't done it for as long as we have.
Yeah, I'm bad for that, to be honest. There's
Yeah,
sometimes when I get asked questions and I think, Jesus, you don't know this, but like you say, I was in that position once, and that's
yeah, yeah.
really why I don't do it. I don't do a ton of content, if you like, because I think, yeah, people already know this stuff. I'm just ramming the same stuff down their throat, but there is a lot of people out there who don't. So
I,
maybe again, we
I
should get
think that's
interviews on there.
what a lot of people think, and it's brought this whole thing of everyone skipping the beginning and middle bit.
Yeah,
Like the most complex questions I get, and I get that people bodybuilding now have loads of information, they have lots of science backing stuff. It's really good. It's a really good time to like know that sort of stuff. But usually the most complex questions are brought to me of people that don't know the very beginnings. It's common because it's not there, and there's so much complex stuff, and there's not a lot of just where starting off. And also, people don't train together as much. People don't talk to each other as much in the gym. People
yeah,
don't.
I have noticed that a lot of people train solo. They don't train with a training partner. And
Yeah, like
that's
there's.
why I get excited when I mean, like just when I was thrown up there, with myself and Lee, we hooked up for a workout. Was it Friday? Friday, yeah, we did a bit of back because try and catch up with old friends and stuff, and we get the chance now and again. Then Sean and Adam was in the corner, Sean down me and Adam. We're training legs in here. A few of the lads in the corner. They got chatting and stuff. We went training legs, but we went over where the squat rack was and pushed Adam through his set. And he ended up doing like a drop set, like 4, 3, 2, 1 plates. And he went him through. Just went in about 3 minutes through in the toilet. So yes, felt great because again, just a bit of energy, isn't it? I don't really
Yeah,
see that very often nowadays,
and
unfortunately.
that's where we like you pick up the basics, wouldn't it? Doing it or someone showing you like in person. Like you often see like people, train with someone that's better. Like there's lots of information. I think it's just a social thing. I think a lot of people don't communicate
You know what,
outside
as
of.
well, Dan? Again, what I see as well, because obviously I'm in the gym a lot more than you. But then again, you do PTs and stuff. So, but yeah, I'm partners in the gym, so I see a lot of guys training together, but the other guys just on their phone. Even during the set, they're like not even watching what they're doing. Like that's not a training partner. Get rid of that person. Number
Yeah,
one, from a safety aspect,
yeah,
and
yeah,
number two, they've got no interest in like you doing your best. Like that's an associate in the gym. It's not a training partner.
yeah. I used to love, like you said, I used to love like being a cunt to my training partner, and they'd be a cunt too. Some of the
Yeah,
best training partners as well weren't like massive bodybuilders, but they gave a fuck about you doing your shit.
yeah.
Like
If someone's benching over there and you're just like this, like what? Like what if they get stuck? Like you should be have your hands ready. Like yeah, it's cool filming your training partner set. We all do that now and again. But yeah, if someone was with me doing squats, I would rather them spot me rather than film.
yeah,
Like
yeah, but
yeah,
that's why we have
we
no
only tend to
content.
film when there's yeah. That's why when they do get 3 or 4 people training, I will try and grab some footage because
Mm.
it is rare. Like yeah, I want you to spot me,
Yeah.
not like film me.
Oh, the other,
See how you fuck.
sorry, the other negative thing that we got with, remember when we trained with Nathan, and obviously we were like, it was just fun, and we moved like pretty fast, so it wasn't like that long, and like everyone now trains on their own, and then like they're like, oh, make sure you have enough rest, and they're resting. But if you train with too many people, there's a guy going, I could never train with that many people, just taking so long. And I was like, it's just some guys trying to get a feeling, a little vibe going and training hard.
Yeah.
And like it might have taken 15 minutes longer for the whole session, but fuck off. Fuck
Yeah, sometimes there might be 5 of us, but it's still a good session. We don't do it very often.
no, no.
Yeah, like fucking hell.
Mate, I mean, I get that it's probably not optimal. It would have been better if there was 2 or 3, but when
Sometimes it's good with 3 when you're doing legs because you've got that many plates on the leg press. Like, whoever done the set, they have a rest instead of having to strip one side off. You take turns, whatever. That's the thing what Leroy says as well. Like, if you got a training partner and they're pre-contest and you're not, you fucking strip the weights off. Like, but if you're training together both at the same time as you, and you've got that training partner who wanders off to the toilet, won't mention any names. Not you, Dan. It isn't you, just someone else. So you should train with it. Like, when it's time to strip the leg press and they want, I need a toilet like every week. Just get rid of them, man. They're just, yeah, they haven't got your best interests at heart, unfortunately.
I have had arguments with that where I was just like, I'm not your fucking caddy. Not your caddy.
Yeah, fucking get that deadlift bar stripped down.
Oh, mate. I do fucking hate that. To be fair, when I'm training on my own, I have been known to go, oh, fuck it, I use the machine.
Yeah, that used to creep into my head, but I always taught myself out of it because that's the whole thing. We spoke about that a few weeks ago, didn't we? Where, yeah, I'll just do a machine. I don't have to load the bar. Don't be lazy.
Mm.
Do the free weights.
Fuck it. It's luckily I have partners to train with on leg day because I do remember going in.
Somebody told me that you now have because you're like full-time online coach. You pay like Thai workers to strip your weights down.
Oh, mate, like Jordan Peters.
Nah, Dennis James used to do that. Can you remember on his videos? You had like Thai.
Oh yeah.
Boys just taking it like 3 back.
Jordan's got a guy follows him around, strips his weights. He even held his
Really?
foot whilst he was doing single leg curls.
Oh dear. Yeah, each their own, man. I wouldn't like to pay somebody to do that.
I fucking would. Fuck it. I would. That'd be sick.
That's how you used to build big forearms on putting your weights away.
Oh damn.
I'm just saying that so people put the weights away, ultraflex, and they think they only have big forearms. No, that's probably why I used to have big forearms because he was just completely weight away Max Muscle all the time.
Mate.
Nah, to be fair, Max Muscle was very respectful. The guys used to put their weights away.
I'm trying to see if we've got any other ones.
Dan's looking through his dossier.
My dossier. There's some recovery things. Nutritional strategy.
Do you know what I am going to start doing? I'm not trying to sound extremely popular. I don't mean that, but I do answer a lot of DMs. That's why I need to do some stuff for the main page because as of late, it is eating into my time.
Yeah.
Like you can, by the time I go on a Autoflex page and stuff and answer DMs on there, answer them on mine, it'd be much easier to do like a variation of videos and stuff, just to explain some basic stuff. Yeah. I just think sometimes people are a bit, not scared, but they're just a little bit apprehensive to ask a question out in the open because they might sound a bit stupid.
Yeah.
It's like when we put the questions up for the podcast, don't we? Like nobody sends them on the page, but they DM you them, and I say, please, can you like put them on the post, like saying not DM because it just takes more time.
Oh, it's because someone's willing to go and just fucking destroy them. Like
for asking a stupid question, which it's not a stupid question. If you don't know, then it's not a stupid question.
It's yeah, I mean, like like what is olive oil is quite a stupid question because you can Google that. But if there's any conceptual idea, like that is what it's for. But yeah, people are now scared because they don't want to get reprimanded by some fucking.
Yeah, and it's just ahead of anybody watches. I am going to spend a little less time in the DMs because, if I'm back and forward, like speaking to somebody for like 3-4 years or whatever, because I do speak to some people regularly on there, and all of a sudden I'm not as responsive. It's not because I'm ignoring you or being a knob. It's just because I have less time these days,
Yeah, I do try and like if people ask me.
Like I've had Leah this weekend, so I haven't really been on my phone. I can guarantee I'll go in there. There'll be a bunch of questions, or a bunch of story tags that I might have missed.
Yeah. Which is
sometimes, yeah.
We want them here though. Ask them here.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, just put your questions down there, man. It's like when we get tagged and like people enjoying the podcast, guys, go on YouTube. See it in there because then we can do get some more views and stuff.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
Not because we're trying to make some money on it. We just want to get a bit more reach.
Well, someone else might enjoy it as well, and they might not know it exists. So
exactly.
So we'll do it. Actually, the winner of the overall, I did message him and say congratulations because I like keeping up to date with the leagues. and he was like, "Oh, I love your podcast." I'm like, "Oh, sick."
Leave in the comments.
So some people, well, he was on prep. I didn't rinse him for that. But yes,
Actually, when you said that the winner there, so we gave away the gas voucher, but the guy for the Better Bodies voucher hasn't claimed it. So
oh,
sorry, buddy, you didn't come back and watch the podcast again. I don't know why I'm trying to speak on from the USA. Maybe it's because it was to do with gas.
so we got another
We
gift.
might, when next time we get James on, we'll get him to give it away again to
Yeah,
somebody.
right. I'll
But
see
yeah,
if I
you
can
missed
link
out on
some.
a 200 quid Better Bodies voucher because you didn't watch the next podcast and see your name
Ooh.
mentioned. So never mind.
I'll
Sorry, bro.
yeah, I'll try and
Oh,
get
hold on, we got a winner here. Man, Dick Mab,
Ma-
Anthony Eels. Oh, let's keep that.
um, I'll try and do a giveaway as well with DY. We'll do some protein or something.
Yeah, get £2,000 worth of shadow weight was given away down.
Well, I'll get you about 3 tubs. Well,
How's the thing going with DY? I've seen a few tags and stuff and a few
yeah, they've got
posts.
like I'm just ordered like the new protein and stuff like that. Obviously, like the price of whey is completely insane. So they're trying out a
Yeah,
blend of like
blend.
hydrolyzed and egg protein, which was bound to happen. So if it's digestible and it doesn't fuck my stomach,
Egg protein is really good protein. It's just the only downside used to be the flavor was horrible.
yeah, it would taste
So I
horrendous.
assume they have like kind of better flavoring systems now, because even
Yeah,
the nice flavored whey back in the day was horrible. But
yeah.
nowadays they can taste shit. Like
So
make shit taste nice. So
I'm gonna test it out, and then yeah, and then maybe I'll give away a tub on here.
what's your discount code, Dan?
My discount code currently is
I
McNab.
don't even know.
Is
Could
McNab
have thought of something
DY?
better than that, Dan.
I didn't come
Could
up
have
with
been
it.
like
I didn't come up with it.
Mass Monster 10 or something. Tell them to change it.
Well, yeah, all right.
Mass Monster 10 or something like that, or
Um,
Brutal Mass 10 or something shit like that.
okay, I'll have a word with them. Be like, look, is
Have you told them that your nickname is Big Pale Nasty?
well, I'm a bit upset that they didn't know that. To be honest, I don't know how that
Because
didn't.
Lee was asking why my nickname was the Freak. I was like, oh god, like, that's a long time ago. And she's like, she's just laughing at it.
Oh, I've had my dinner delivered. How about that?
Yeah, it's pro bodybuilder now.
There we go.
I've got a quarter of tuna that's been there for 3 days in the garden, and I'll eat that.
In the garden.
Yeah, yeah, I've got nobody going after mine this time. Never mind.
Oh,
I have
mate.
just started eating some protein again. I don't think I eat chicken anymore, unfortunately.
Oh,
Awesome.
really?
Just add it on the list. Yeah, I
Oh,
have started bumping the meals up a little bit, bumping the train up a little bit, and seeing my body doesn't like to eat chicken nowadays.
I mean,
So,
it's probably seen a lot of chicken in its life. That's
I
probably.
don't know. I just might have to go vegan. I
How
don't
many
know.
chickens do you reckon that have died for you? How do you reckon?
Didn't thought I'd do something like this equation before. Could
Oh,
ask ChatGPT.
I think maybe you did. All right, so
I remember I used to have 30 egg whites a day during contest prep back in the day.
right. So over how many years do you reckon?
What in contest prep?
No, just like you did 10, maybe you ate 10, you
Well,
ate 10 eggs.
let's see how you. This is so boring, but we'll do it anyway. So my average meal was like 250. I would have like 250 grams of chicken times 3 times a day equals then times 7. So like, let's say half a kilo a week. When did that? Well, I haven't retired
No,
technically.
wait, I'm gonna
So
ask ChatGPT.
yeah, we don't want to see what's on your chat GPT then.
I'm
Don't share your screen on that. Jesus Christ.
gonna
What's
say.
750? What's half a kilo times
Well, I
20
thought you said
years?
you ate 300 grams of chicken a day.
No. 250
Oh,
times 3, so 750. 750 times 7. It's just over a half a kilo, isn't it? This is super interesting stuff.
I'm gonna do it now.
Yeah, people can just log off now.
We're gonna do it. How many chickens die to fuel Anth's Pro card? Let's find out.
Have you ever chat GPT your name?
10 eggs a day? No. 750 grams of chicken every day for 10 years. Chicken yield per bone per bird. You eat 750 grams for 365 days over 10 years. Chickens needed for meat 1,564 chickens. How many eggs? Modern laying hen produces 300 eggs a year. You eat 10. That's 3,650 a year, 36,500. Estimated total chickens that died is the summary.
God,
1,686 chickens died for you, just for your pro card.
right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Isn't it crazy the shit you can get up on your phone now? It's just absolutely
And
mental.
I just want to say thanks to all the chickens. And also, I think they do it to us. Like if the roles were reversed and people were really small and had the silly eyes, and they
Silly
have,
eyes.
and the chick, yeah, you know, look to the chicken's eye. They're dead. They're dead inside.
Yeah, I don't go to any chickens now. Like,
What have you
just
not?
because they're on the side.
Yeah, yeah. Fucking weird. So
What's the reason? What things have eyes on the side? It's it's something to do with
they've got
nature.
better
Where I can't remember
peripheral
now.
vision. They can look behind themselves.
Well, they're not doing that one, are they? Because they're getting killed, so I can eat them for prep.
Well, yeah. So it hasn't worked, obviously, but I reckon they do it to us. So fuck them.
But this is the quick thing where everybody goes with the vegan thing, where those chickens. I mean, this is going to get a little bit political here.
Oh,
Those chickens are only grown to get killed, so they wouldn't have been alive anyway. Sorry,
oh,
vegetarians.
oh, that's dark.
Well, yeah, it's true, though, isn't it? Yeah, they wouldn't have been alive anyways.
Oh, yeah.
I'm starting to feel bad already now.
Yeah, I
When I
think
talk
that's
about anything
worse. I
these
think you've
days.
made it sound worse. I think
Yeah, but
that's
they wouldn't have been bred anyway, so they
yeah.
wouldn't have been here anyway.
Yeah, but I wouldn't have been bred unless my mum had loose morals. I mean, like
Oh god, this is going down a rabbit hole.
yeah,
People are not eating you though, Dan. They're not saying, "Hey, you shouldn't be eating humans."
that's true. Well,
Well,
yeah,
some people are out there
yeah,
doing it.
so Dharma is
Jeffrey.
about it. Okay.
Yeah, he's the only cannibal I know.
Yeah, the
Not
only one
personally.
in my
Yeah, I
DM.
used to go to school with Jeffrey.
Oh my God.
Jeffrey D. Me
I
and
knew
Jeffrey
Jeff,
D.
he was a nice kid. I just don't know where it went
I
wrong.
changed my Instagram name to Anth. What's the word? Cannibal Bales. Oh, I
Um,
used to know Mr. Lecter. That's the only other one I know.
mate, no, you knew oh who was it? Who was the Durham guy? The Reuter. Oh,
Durham guy.
the Marcus Rule, he was your mate. You definitely went to school with him.
Where did that come from, Dan?
Marcus Rule. That's where you went. That's isn't he from your ends?
Marcus Rule from
Not
Durham.
Marcus Roll
What the
Moat.
fuck is German? What the fuck? I was thinking shit. Was this like a past joke that we never cracked in person?
Roll Moat.
Yeah,
Roll.
Raul. My friend was friends with Raul Moat.
Really? Fuck.
Yeah, he said he was a bit nuts. Everyone was friends
A
with Raul Moat.
bit
Yeah.
nuts.
Didn't Paul Gascoigne try to talk him out of
Yeah, it was
life in
amazing.
the forest or some shit?
Yeah, he took him a fishing one.
Anyway, sorry, that was a very bad situation. We're not trying to make fun of it, but yeah. You were just trying to think of somebody crazy from the northeast.
That was the only one I
Only
got.
crazy person I know from the northeast is Crazy Dave Crawford.
Yeah, he is crazy. Have you still
He's
got the
supposed to be
cardboard
hooking.
cutout? You still got the cutout?
Yeah, it's in the stockroom in the gym actually. I usually put it out when he comes in. Because
Amazing.
he works on the rig now, unfortunately. We're all old and shit. We can't train like we used to, but we still hook up when he comes back here and there. Yeah, we generally like well this far away from getting hurt every time.
And as long
This
as
is
it's
what I get when people say, "Oh, like why are you still trying to train heavy? Like you don't have anything to prove." Like never did have anything to prove. Like just because
yeah,
we like doing it. It's not
yeah,
about proving anything to anybody other
yeah.
than yourself. Really, it's just fun.
That's so true. It's like, yeah, you don't have anything to prove. It's like that's not what.
Again, people don't realize that we've been doing this long. Like there didn't used to be any cameras or
Yeah.
anybody to have a look at it. You just do it. You used to do it anyways. Like now, you just see it because that's what it is now. But
I
yeah, I could quite happy still train with no cameras and stuff. Just if Leroy comes over, I get lots of earache if we don't get any
I
video,
would
which I like because
yeah.
people say they watch it and it motivates them to go to the train. And like I used to watch Dorian Yates going to the gym. Like that's what I used to get fired up by. So
Yeah.
I'm pleased that those vids have that effect because we're
Mm.
all ugly fuckers. We're not trying to sell anything or look all sexy and stuff. We're all just ugly blokes training and screaming. I mean, yeah, we promote this and that, but it isn't the main kind of. Everybody will forget about all your promotions and your shitty discount codes and stuff when you're gone. Just, I'd like to remember somebody who worked hard and maybe spread a little bit of motivation here and there.
Well, you definitely did.
Come on, Dan. You would if you actually took some video.
No, but like, yeah, well, even
I'm going to message. Sorry, I forgot the gentleman's name from DY.
Thomas or
Trevor?
yeah,
That's just his standard generic name, is it Trevor?
Trevor. We'll go with Trevor. It's fine.
Mr. Smith. No, the guy who you told to give a call. Shit, Steve?
I called. Well, I don't know. I've got a guy called
Dan,
Thomas.
you should know. You're going to get fired. He's the athlete's rep.
Yeah, I wish he. Oh,
I'm
no,
going to tell him to give you loads of social media obligations.
I don't. I've got a printout that I've got a Google Doc that I'm supposed to do right now that I'm doing.
Yeah, I used to have one for Farmer Free, but luckily it was very minimal.
Mine's like, yeah, well, I've got to wait for this protein. I'm going to test it out and see what's going
You're
on.
gonna have to do like a video like how to make a protein shake.
They're like, protein, yeah.
I've actually got a couple of videos to watch tonight. There's a couple of videos on how to make cream rice that I want to watch.
Oh, yeah, I do like
Not.
those. I do like those.
Yeah, I get it. I do get it, but it's I don't know. I'm lost.
Well, I did do a video on how to make water as a joke, but actually it needs to make me revisit because
People don't get the sense of humor, do they? Like it's unfortunate.
people not drinking water, so it's fucking it needs to come out.
I did one years ago when I said I was eating 30 whole eggs for breakfast in an omelette, and someone tried it, and they sent me a message. How are you eating that for like breakfast? Like it was a joke. I didn't do that. I thought our hardcore cooking video was good, Dan, but it just didn't get any views.
Oh no, everyone hated it.
Maybe we should repost it. Now you can post a 3-minute reel now, can't you, on Instagram?
Yeah. All right, let's dig it up. Who's got it? Have you got it or have I got it?
It's on the channel somewhere.
All right, we'll find it. I'll download it. It's going up.
Yeah. Well, Dan, you should be putting your reels up on as shorts. Actually, we are shit at this stuff, aren't we?
I
Really.
do need to figure out how to do that.
I actually do have a call tomorrow with a social media lady, and we're going to get some stuff rolling because there's lots of stuff that I need to kind of promote and stuff like the Autoflex Open. Some stuff for the gym. We've got a new atomic bomb out soon. Atomic bomb weaponized.
Ooh,
watch out for that one soon.
What's
you
different?
can't use that because you're with DY, so
Oh yeah, I can't say it.
there's some new ingredients thrown in from Miami. It's
My family.
blended down hockey players' pubes mixed with citrulline malate and nitrate with some grass-fed grounded beef from Ronnie Coleman's backyard.
Oh, I'm in.
Totally made that up.
Oh no, I'm not in. Sorry,
Grass-fed beef from Branch One's ranch. I'll have to send you some in secret. Can you remember the old Atomic Bomb sachets?
Yes.
Yeah, I was going to get in touch with the guy who made those and just say, could he make some illegally just for personal use?
Oh, mate.
Because some of the ingredients are banned now, but I'm sure someone could acquire them.
All right.
Yeah, because I really don't feel like sleeping for 3 years.
It was so bad every time. Every time. I'd just be
And
there in
then
bed.
I had so much good feedback from that. Like some powerlifter sent me a message. I was like, yeah, brought all my PRs. And then went in the car and threw them all over and went to sleep. Yeah, at least you got the PRs, bro.
Yeah, fucking it. It doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah, I've got a steady way on the pre-workout nowadays anyway, so best not. As long as I carried away.
Yeah, but we should let other people have the joy that we did.
Yeah, that's why I do enjoy a little bit of PT here and there because I'm tagging up with people who I can push because I can't go nuts anymore. So it is nice to push someone else, I guess.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. It's good when you get a good client. You can feed off that shit.
Yeah, I'm just that old guy who has to live through someone else now.
Oh,
It's not that bad. Christ almighty, it's not that bad. Jesus.
Fucking,
no. Yeah, I'm being a little bit melodramatic, so I'll shut up there.
Oh.
We can still go a little bit.
All right. Well, I'm going to come and visit soon.
Yeah, well, I spoke to Connor actually on DM because we were supposed to line something with Connor, weren't we? So Connor wants to come and train at some point.
Right.
I know James said he's going to come visit again. He said we're going to have a catch up when he gets back from the States. Yeah, we'll try and get 4 or 5 of us with a session at Durham. Then and I'll get slagged off on Instagram for training too many people. Too much rest, and I'll make sure I do those T-bars again for like 10 sets.
I'm going to do them.
Guy.
I'm going to do them even faster.
Yeah, they were very fast. The rest when I was like, "Fuck!" It's just it's just excitement. Did you see Jack's set?
Yes.
Jack's set looked like he was in like speeding up like Benny Hill.
It really was fucking wild.
I want you to edit his video and put the Benny Hill music on. But yeah, guys, it's just enthusiasm. It's just being excited. It's just never mind.
Sometimes it's just like you said, it's about putting a marker in the sand of how fucking mental you can go. I think that's part of it. I think it's part of it. You've got to cultivate that madness. You have to. I'm for it.
Now and again, it's fun to do now and again.
All right, boss. I'm
Yeah,
gonna.
man, I've got some check-ins to do, including yours, Dan.
Oh, that's gonna be.
We'll
It's.
quickly mention just before we go, because you haven't had any derogatory comments made against you yet for this podcast.
Oh, what?
How
Oh,
did you lose 20 pounds when you went away? Well, I tell people when you went on holiday, this is why I said don't go on holiday. So listen, guys, he lost 20 pounds when he was away for a week.
I did.
Quickly fill that one in, Dan.
Mate, fuck knows. I blended tuna. I drank blended tuna. I've got MRE meal replacement for my normal shakes that I would usually have with cream of rice. I added cream of rice to it. And I I ate. I don't get it. I probably missed like a couple of meals, but I don't get it. I don't get it. And as well, the first
Yeah,
week, because I was supposed to have a week off, I had a week off, so I didn't even fucking train. So I don't know.
that's why then you lost 20 pounds. So you literally
I just
lost
lost a
20 pounds of muscle
I
because you didn't
lost
train for a week.
I lost yeah, that was it. That's how old I am.
You're gonna have to start again now.
Oh mate, don't. I wanted to kill myself. Like, I wanted to kill myself. It was
Sorry, I
like
just thought I'll get that in.
well,
Don't go on holiday, guys.
you
Do
brought
not
it
go on
back.
holiday.
I was yeah, and then the second week I got back to train. I actually don't know. I thought like I've
This
definitely
is why I thought you checking right. I noticed this last week because it has you waiting and it has in brackets.
yeah,
Previously 305.
yeah.
Just like you're trying to remind yourself that you were 305 and then you faded away.
Yeah, mate. I
Sorry,
mean,
I'm just doing the reverse psychology thing.
obviously, I came off some stuff, but I've like,
Yeah, you
yeah,
dropped the glutamine down and the creatine.
yeah, the creatine down. Yeah,
But
thanks.
the doses of creatine wasn't even that high anyway, was it really, to be honest?
No, but thanks for reminding me, Anth. I was,
Dude,
I've definitely gone away and had a little bit of a break, um, and not
that's what
done.
happens. That's what happens when you enjoy yourself.
Mate,
Told you Dorian used to have a holiday for 55 years when he was
I
a
didn't
trainer
even, I
in
didn't even do
Olympia.
anything. I just fucking didn't even do anything. It was like, oh, mate, fuck it.
Branch Warren did not have a holiday for 35 years
Once Warren,
and he trained on his wedding day. So get your finger out, Dan. Right, we'll leave it there. And the next time we come on, we'll try and get Joe Bennett on and Leroy.
I was literally convinced that I had like cancer when I came back. I was like,
Don't say the C word online,
I've
Dan
like
Christ.
I was like, how the fuck does that even happen? I
Just
was,
ringing Medichecks to get a blood test on the
oh,
SCP.
yeah. To be fair, I probably should do
Oh.
that now. Actually, I
But
do.
yeah, let me get the training on point a little bit better. Let me eat some food. Give me like 4 weeks or something. I can, get some.
I'll make sure
It
that
comes back pretty quick.
I'm fully in the midst of the TRT
Yeah,
there.
I need to just get into the rhythm of some stuff, and then we'll all hook up and
Right,
do some of those shit T-bar rolls.
all right. Thanks for ruining my
Okay,
evening.
man. Right, so I'll email you tonight, mate.
All right, mate. Thanks,
All right,
mate.
take it easy, man.
In a
Bye
bit.
bye.